The greatest joy in life is being by the ocean. It's not just rocks and water out there. It's most of life on Earth. But the ocean, I used to know, no longer exists. Because of us, because of the harm we've done, it's failing. I really believe right now is the last and the best chance we will ever have to save it. Countries are coming together in France. We have the opportunity through the United Nations to deal with some of the big issues that are facing the ocean. In my lifetime, 90% of the sharks have gone. Half the coral reefs, dead. Bluefin tuna, reduced to a tiny fraction of what they were. And it's not just what we're taking out. It's what we're putting in the ocean, all the pollution and the avalanche of plastics that destroy the very systems that keep us alive.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my profound honor to introduce a beloved living legend and one of the most influential ocean advocates of our time.
Renowned oceanographer, Dr. Sylvia Earle.
She has spent almost a year of her extraordinary life below the ocean surface.
Sylvia Earle has spent decades at the forefront of ocean exploration.
And at 90 years old, she shows no signs of slowing down.
Bye, Sylvia.
I've always loved exploring the ocean, and it started when I was a little kid. When my parents moved to Florida when I was 12, we lived right on the Gulf of Mexico. I was so lucky to be allowed to explore. We would get a canoe and just paddle down the river, or sometimes just get an inner tube and float down to the Gulf, and that made me fall in love with the ocean. Studying a class in marine biology, I was fortunate when a professor was able to secure 2 of the first scuba tanks available in the United States. The first time I went over and took a breath, it just seemed like a miracle. I could breathe underwater. I could actually explore the ocean on my own terms and see creatures on their terms. That really did change my perspective. And for me, I just didn't want to go back. I wanted to spend more time studying the ocean.
Off the coast of St. John in the Virgin Islands, scientists are probing the secrets of a marine environment as mysterious, remote, and little known as the surface of the moon.
The project Tektite, an experiment partly sponsored by NASA. It's like the space station underwater.
At a depth of 50 feet, this is a fertile field for underwater exploration. The project is America's only man-in-the-sea research program.
I wasn't the only woman to apply. There were several, and there was no qualification issue, but they did not approve of having a woman living underwater with men. 1970, that was considered unacceptable. The head of the program decided, let's avoid this cohabitation business and just have a team of all women.
Here for a fortnight, the world's first women aquanaut. And from the beginning, the girls show that they are, on all counts, well-chosen and well-qualified.
People wanted to hear, did you use a hairdryer? Did you wear lipstick for the fish? Just stupid things. We didn't care what they said as long as we got to go. We stayed, the 5 of us, living underwater, conducting experiments and exploring the reef. And you could sneak up on the fish. They adopted you as part of their school. It was just one of the most extraordinary experiences.
After 2 weeks, the aquamaids agree that the only thing men can do down here that we can't is grow beards.
What I realized as a young scientist was not how much we had learned about the ocean, but how much we did not know. So for me to answer the questions I had, I needed to go deeper.
Beneath the waves, a new human-shaped submarine. The Gym Suit. Off the coast of Oahu in Hawaii, a pioneering scientist, Dr. Sylvia Earle, is aiming to make the deepest untethered walk in history.
The idea to go where no one had gone before, that was pretty exciting. I guess that equates to being an explorer. When I got to the bottom, they released the strap and I walked off. It was just dark. I started to see a little flash, sparkle, and glow. I was surrounded by all kinds of creatures. It was beautiful. People ask me, "Weren't you afraid? Weren't you lonely down there by yourself?" I'm never by yourself. In the ocean, life is everywhere. We started deep ocean exploration and research. A company creating cutting-edge submersibles so others could go down and see what I had seen. So we're just unwrapping the new submersible.
Yeah, all right, carefully. We need to do this.
Is this the big unveiling?
Pretty much.
All right, this is it. The only way to get that insight of knowing, of understanding why the ocean matters is by experiencing it.
Ready? Quite pretty, right?
Gorgeous. You've grown up with this. You know,
True enough.
remember our first submersible designs? We had at one point 15 engineers that were actually working in the house and the garage.
Oh, I know, that was kind of wild.
Yeah, exactly.
As a kid, it was a little, bit of a roller coaster at times because she was diving and going on expeditions around the world. And so it was a little different. One of the nice things about the design that you've had so much input on is maintaining that view so that that gift of time below the surface is even more impactful for people.
It'll be even better when it's in the ocean.
Oh, yeah.
To take someone into the sea and give them the gift of time underwater so they can see the ocean the way the creatures who live there see the ocean is to really change their perspective. Because all of this is at risk. Exploring the deep sea back in the 1980s, I started witnessing the destruction from the dredges to trawls, hooks and lines that were being deployed from commercial fishing. And I could also see the impact from what was being put in the ocean, all the pollution and plastic junk. And it broke my heart, really. I had to do something.
Dr. Sylvia Earle has been appointed chief scientist at NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the agency that manages the country's coastal waters.
I really went to NOAA thinking that I had an opportunity where maybe I could really elevate the importance of ocean protection. But the reality is a little different.
She found it kind of reprehensible that nature is only being valued when it's dead. She was so much of an advocate for the living animals. They actually banned her from going to meetings talking about tuna quotas.
I felt the obligation to try to do my best to speak for the ocean. But I was being advised what to do, how to speak, what to say. It was frustrating. Sometimes politics governs policy. I feel that I must resign and, as a private citizen, do what I can do with more flexibility, more freedom. When I was at NOAA, it was pretty constraining being a government official. I needed to bring together communities with scientists who really cared about the importance of the ocean. Earth is blue. We have to take care of it. It's up to us. And that led to me starting Mission Blue in 2009. A network of 160 plus hope spots, protected areas, and critically vulnerable parts of the ocean, giving people the opportunity to come together to say, I love this place and I will commit to doing what I can do to take care of it.
Here in Indonesia, plastics and pollution is a major issue and threat to coral reefs. With support from Hope Spots, we developed a restoration program supporting the diversity of the corals, the fish and the iconic species so that we can enjoy these beautiful creatures for the next generations.
The Galapagos Marine Reserve, it's unique because species are found here that are found nowhere else in the world. So protecting these islands is really important.
Right now, only about 3% of the ocean is fully protected. The goal by 2030, with the help of Hope Spots, is to get to 30%.
We have deployed more than 300 artificial reefs. It helps protect and regrow more the seagrass, providing home and feeding ground. Within few years, the amount of dolphins and the dugong has increased, so this is like a big success.
Sylvia Earle, of course, has been an inspiration for us all, and we really support her mission to create more hope spots around the globe.
One of the things I love about this project is that hope is leading to action.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Please welcome Dr. Sylvia Earle to the stage.
We have to protect as much of the natural living world as we're able to do on our watch and to restore what we can to heal the harm. No one can do what needs to be done alone. It's only by coming together as we are now on this occasion, United Nations Ocean Conference, to look at what the problems are, to figure out what do we do now that we know what nobody could know when I was a child. Throughout my life, I've felt the obligation to try to do my best to speak for the ocean. And I have realized I can't fix the world. But if I can inspire others to look around and say, this is what I can do here to protect this place, then we can secure an enduring future for ourselves.
All right. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's Exploring by the Seat of Your Pants event. My name is Joe Grabowski, and I'll be your host for today. A big happy World Ocean Week to everyone. World Ocean Day is coming up on June the 8th, but we're celebrating this week to coincide with the Explorers Club World Ocean Week in New York. So all week long, we've been connecting with incredible ocean scientists and researchers and conservationists and filmmakers and engineers. And we've been sharing incredible stories of the beauty of our ocean and the life found within it. We've been talking about the stress we're putting on it and the impact we're having, what we stand to lose. And then we've been collecting the good news stories, the stories of hope the people working around the world looking for solutions, the communities coming together, and all of the great ocean conservation work. So we still have a ton of live ocean events coming your way this week. If you head to exploringbythesea.com, you can find those events. You can tune into the ones that have already happened, and you can catch the live ones. In fact, after this event at 11 o'clock, we're connecting with Gabby, and we're going to talk about the amazing work she's doing in Central America around sharks. We hope you can join us for that. So our guest today, as you probably guessed from the video, the amazing Dr. Sylvia Earle. I don't think I need to give any more of an introduction. That was an incredible video from Rolex that really spanned her career and the amazing ocean work that she has and is continuing to do. So let's get Sylvia in live with us right now. Good morning, Sylvia. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Sitting in a kind of a boring hotel room, but thinking about all the exciting things that are going on over at the Explorers Club. I'll be there this afternoon and back in the ocean pretty soon.
All right, excellent. Well, Sylvia, we're going to turn things loose in a minute to the students. So we have a ton of classrooms. We have some of them backstage, some of them are tuning in via YouTube, and they're going to have a bunch of questions for us today. But before we get there, I want to talk a little bit about hope spots. We had a little bit of an introduction to them in that video. I would love to know where the idea for hope spots came from. And can you tell us maybe about one or two of them around the world?
Well, actually, the whole world is one big, mostly blue hope spot. And we have the best chance right now to keep it in pretty good shape. But we have to hurry because a lot is going on that is undermining the natural systems that make Earth habitable, both on the land and in the sea. But by encouraging people, wherever they are on the planet, to step up and say, I know a place I care about, and I'll do something to keep it safe or to go from wherever it is today and make it better. And that's what's happened. There are now 169 places with champions and sometimes with institutions such as the Explorers Club, but there are many others around the world working with individuals to do just that, either safeguard a place that's still in pretty good shape or to restore something that has already been damaged. And one example is pretty close to where I am right now in New York City, or outside in Long Island along the coast. There's a scientist, Ellen Pickich. She's been associated with Stony Brook University and saw that when she came on board some years ago at the university, that this part of the seaboard along the Atlantic Ocean was really suffering from toxic algal blooms every summer. And the cause of it seems to be runoff from the land that created just the right environment for some little creatures that live in the ocean that are fine when they're just there in small numbers, but when they proliferate, they can really, too much of a good thing could be a bad thing. And in this case, it was pretty terrible. And so to do something about it, lots of ideas came up, but the one that Ellen and her colleagues focused on was to try to restore the clams and the oysters, but especially starting with the clams that filter the water. They do this naturally. That's how they eat. They take all the phytoplankton and zooplankton that's swimming around in the water, and they slurp it up, and that's their breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's how they survive. And they used to be really abundant in Shinnecock Bay, but they were commercial item marketed all over the country until basically they were all gone, very few remaining. But what Ellen and her colleagues did was to find a way to get a lot of clams and plant them in the bay. Actually, it was said that if you could get 33 million clams, you could do the job. But every clam would cost $1. They didn't have $33 million. So they took what they could get, got some big mama and papa clams and planted them and protected them. It's taken a while, but within about 5 years, things started to clear up. It's been more than 10 years now, and the change in Shinnecock Bay is really remarkable. We designated it as a hope spot, the Shinnecock Nation of people who've lived in that area literally for thousands of years, collaborating with Ellen, collaborating with Stony Brook University, collaborating with the Explorers Club, and celebrating when people come together and really understand what can be done. Change is possible. That's just one example. I mean, I could dive in almost any place in the world and find a hope spot out of the 169 places that are out there, and there's stories everywhere. But maybe we should get back to the kids. I want to hear from them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, the hope spots, the story in Shinnecock Bay you just shared, it really shows us that our ocean is resilient. If we give it space, we can help out, of course, but space is really important. It can bounce back in incredible ways.
We can go too far. When I was a kid in Florida, I did not know that there were things out in the Gulf and the Caribbean, as far north as Galveston, Texas, up the East Coast, probably, I think, as far north as Charleston, South Carolina, and as far south as Brazil. Seals, monk seals. There's still 2 related species, one in Hawaii, another in the Mediterranean Sea. And they have existed in this area, in the Gulf and Caribbean, for when they started, but they've been there for very long before there were humans. There were monk seals. But on my watch, when I was in high school, the last one was seen, and now they're extinct. So we can go so far that recovery is not possible.
Yeah.
And that's where we are right now. We're right on the edge of losing some species, some systems. Half the coral reefs are already gone. And if we aren't really mindful and do what it takes, we know what to do to turn this, to recover coral reefs that have been lost, or to try to restore some that are still hanging in there, but they need help. So this is the moment. This is why I think I tell kids, tell myself, you're so lucky to be a human being in the 21st century because of what we know. And it's the best chance we'll ever have to really safeguard the earth, that one big blue hope spot. This should be our focus. Got to take care of it.
All right. Well, let's meet some of those youth that are hope for the future. We're going to start off with some 4th graders here, hanging out with Miss Morrow. Hey, 4th graders, how are ya?
Hi. What sort of degrees do you need to build submarines? Because that's what I want to do when I grow up.
I think getting good education, letting yourself be in, having people who have spent a lifetime learning things to be there and let them give that information directly to you. It's pretty cool when you think that there are people who really want you to know what they know. I mean, you could perhaps find it out yourself, take a long time, but you've got teachers who are just dedicated to trying to give you the information. You can learn things without going to the formal education route. The more of that you have available to you, you should soak it up and grab it. It's not the only way that people learn. And there are some really smart people who've not been to school, but they've lost the opportunity that you have and that you aspire to to get as much information as you can. I mean, I've been lucky to go, and yes, I went to grade school, I went to high school, I went to a junior college, a community college, and then I went to a university. And I've been learning not just from going to school, but I've learned from the ocean. I've learned from nature. Some say, study nature, not books. I say study nature and books. And let teachers give you what they can, and then keep going, never stop learning.
Thank you.
How many years have you worked with National Geographic?
What was the question, please?
How many years have you worked with National Geographic?
Oh, well, I never considered it work. It's a joy to be at National Geographic. My relationship started when I was about your age, because my family subscribed. And this was before, I know it's hard to believe that there's a time before there was television. But the National Geographic, with all those beautiful stories and pictures, was my television. That and books, that's where I learned a lot of things about the world. And you can still do the same in the National Geographic magazine and in films and books and all of that. That started when I was, say, your age, and then it continues right up to the present time. So I actually officially began, I think, in 1998 as an explorer in residence. And for more than 20 years, I was at National Geographic, supposedly in residence, but they said it's okay if you consider the ocean your residence. That is what I tend to do. And now I'm an explorer at large. So, long time, more to come.
Thank you.
All right, let's grab one more, then we'll visit another group, but I promise we'll try to come back.
Have you ever seen a sunken ship before? Underwater?
Tell me again, please.
Say it again, just a little louder.
Have you ever seen a sunken ship underwater before?
Oh, yeah, I have. There are tens of thousands of ships that have not made it from where they started to the port they were destined to go. And they got caught in a storm, or they hit a rock, or something happened, got a leak, whatever. Many ways to sink a ship. but we're getting better. I think shipwrecks are less common than they used to be. There are lots of ships out there.
Mm-hmm.
Plenty to go explore. Most of them have not been discovered yet.
Thank you.
Thanks, fourth graders. That's right. Even where I live here in Canada, Sylvia, we've got the Great Lakes. We have thousands of shipwrecks in the Great Lakes to explore.
Makes you wonder, when you go on a ship.
We're going to head to North Carolina, to the beach. We have Levi hanging out with us, homeschool student. So let's get Levi in here with us. Hi, Levi.
Hi, how are you doing today?
So far, so good. How about you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. So I was wondering, what can we do to help convince people to help the ocean?
We live here in this beautiful place, and we're just two young girls wanting to make a difference, and we see lots of people who love the beach and come here for vacation. And I don't know, seeing your story so inspiring, we feel like there's a lot more that we can do in a small coastal community.
I'm sure that's true. And it's a little bit hard for me to tell you what to do, because only you know who you are. So I suggest that you look in the mirror and ask yourself, what have I got? I'll ask you, what have you got? Do you have a way with animals? Can you sing? Do you play a musical instrument? What is it that you love? What do you like to do? You want to clean up the beach? That's something almost anybody can do, and it makes a difference. Whatever it is, find that thing that makes you smile, and then do it, get others to join in, and that's how it works. One person does something and others see it, they want to do it too. If you see somebody else doing something that looks like fun, like they're making a difference, and you're willing to join with them, you can be that second person that leads to another one and another one. So maybe you can take care of the turtles if you have turtles coming on that beach, to make sure that the nests are safe. Whatever it is, maybe you can tell me what you think you should be doing.
Well, I love the idea of cleaning up the beach. That's a really great idea.
And you love animals.
Yes,
right?
I do. I love animals. I love them so very much. I think I have a lovey of every single animal.
We take care of the wildlife on our dune. We once saved a little vole who was drowning in the ocean. That was interesting.
Now he lives on the dune.
He does.
Find a creature that interests you, and then do everything you can to learn about it. Jane Goodall learned about chimpanzees. The octopus teacher learned about one octopus and spent a whole year just getting to know her. And it's there for you to do too. If you find a creature, I want to know you. I want to know everything I can about you. And you can make a difference sharing what you learn with others.
This reminds me too of Eugenie Clark.
Yes.
Did you ever get to spend time with her or
Yes.
know her, the
Yes.
shark lady?
Absolutely. She was also not just sharks, but there was one kind of fish that she got to know in the Red Sea. And for 12 years, she went back to that same place. It was a fish that lived in a burrow and would come up out of the burrow and look at her. And she took notes and learned everything she could about that fish. And it was quite remarkable. Every year she could go back and check that little fish out, the same fish. And every fish is an individual, like every one of us. There are no two exactly alike. And she helped demonstrate that by getting to know that one. It was a new species, and she named it after her son.
Very, very cool.
We love your story and what you're doing for Papa Hanau Kuakea. Levi knows how to say it.
Papa Hanau Kuakea.
That's right. And I just have one last question that Levi won't ask, but we were talking about it. She says, Mama, Sylvia Earle, she's not scared of anything. There's no way. She's done so much in her life. She is not scared. And I told her, I bet there's something she's scared of, but she's found a way to overcome it. Can you talk about that for us listening?
The scariest thing I do is get and drive a car down the highway. You never know what that person coming in your direction. Animals, if you just respect them and other people, just get to know them and respect them, that's the best way to stay safe. Sometimes that's the problem. We don't respect others, whether it's an animal or a human, another animal. We are animals. It's showing your behavior toward others that sometimes reflects back on you. Be kind, it works.
All right. Thanks, Beach Crew. Great questions, as always. Let's jump to Madame Bell's crew. Madame Bell's crew, if you're there, if you want to go ahead and unmute, we'd love to grab a couple questions.
Hello, thank you. Our first question is from Kinsley.
Do you know who Greta Thunberg is?
We've been learning about her in class, and we're wondering if you have any thoughts on her.
What?
Greta.
Tell me something about her.
She's the child environmental activist.
She skipped Fridays of school
to protest for the environment. And she has made a lot of waves in terms of environmental activism throughout the world.
It's something to be celebrated. Individuals who are taking whatever they have, whatever they've got that's special, and then using it to make a difference. And anybody can say, well, what have I got? Some people have a certain characteristic that enables them to step up and stand out. Others would rather not be noticed. They want to be, they tend to work in a different way. So it's whatever makes you you is what you should use. And it's wonderful to see the diversity of people who are making a difference. Sometimes quietly, sometimes out in front, sometimes just by learning something and sharing what they know is what makes a difference. And people have been doing that from the beginning of civilization, I guess. It's what makes us strong. Learning things, passing it along, using your superpower, whatever it is. Everybody has something. I'd like to know what your superpower is.
What's your superpower, Kinsley?
Dance.
Okay, say thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have one more question if possible.
Of course, yeah.
Shh. Go ahead.
How do you go so deep in the water?
How do you grow something in the water?
How do you go so deep in the water and survive?
Oh, okay. Well, the wonderful thing is being where you are in time, the 21st century, because we have methods to take ourselves in the water deep by putting ourselves in a safe container, a submarine, where the atmosphere stays the same pressure as what you have right now. One atmosphere. It's like the weight of all the atmosphere on you right now. You don't feel as though it's heavy, but it's about, there is the weight of the universe. If you keep that same pressure inside a submersible, you can go all the way to the bottom. And the technology exists now that did not exist when I was a child. Nobody could go to the moon when I was a child. Nobody could go to the deepest part of the ocean, but now we can do those things. And it's within the power of all of us to have the dream. I want to go deep in the sea. I want to go high in the sky. And we have the technology that makes that possible. People could dream about it for as long as there have been humans, for thousands of years. But we couldn't do it until now. So think of how lucky you are. You want to be a pilot? You want to be an astronaut? You want to get on a submarine? You want to build a submarine? You want to be a biologist? You want to be an artist? Dive into the ocean, see the creatures there, and then make drawings of who they are? Whatever it is that you want to do, possibilities today are better than they've ever been.
All right. I'm going to grab a couple questions here from YouTube that have come in, Sylvia. So I want to start off with, I've got a question here about, you've obviously, over your dives, you've witnessed incredible things in the oceans, wildlife, communities working together. What is something that's always stuck with you, an experience exploring our ocean?
How much there is yet to see and learn. The magnitude of what we do not know is so much greater than what we do know. That means the greatest era of exploring this part of the universe, this planet, our own home. I mean, it's great to dream about exploring the moon or Mars or Jupiter or whatever else is out there and beyond our own solar system, beyond our Earth. But this planet, we're just beginning to explore the biggest part. That's the ocean. Really, we know a lot. We've learned more. I mean, in my lifetime, because of the technology that now exists, not only to learn things, but to share what you know. And there are now 8 billion minds, people, humans, who not only are learning things, but they're sharing what they know in ways that it just couldn't happen before. Now you can pick up the telephone or go into a computer, you can talk with people, you can learn what people are doing everywhere, all the time, all at once. It's really, in a way, overwhelming how much information there is now. But we still don't know who lives in the great depths of the ocean. We've only seen a tiny, tiny fraction of the deep sea. We're just beginning to use the technology that has just happened in my lifetime that makes it possible. And I just wonder, in your lifetime, what new technologies, what new discoveries are going to come. I mean, you can be right out there as an explorer, as a scientist, or as an artist, or as just somebody who's curious. I just want to go see. It's there to be done. Couldn't before, but now it's yours to take and run with.
All right, Sylvia, I think we have time for one more question before we have to say goodbye for today. And I think this is a nice one to kind of wrap up with. You know, you've witnessed change in the ocean over time. You've witnessed people working hard in conservation to protect the ocean. But a lot of what we see in the news are negative stories. We see steps forward, we see steps back. So, you know, what is it, Sylvia? What gives you hope? What keeps you going every day?
Joe, we're talking to them. The kids, come on. This is the future. It's the lifetime that they have ahead. And I think it's just the best time. I mean, it is. What now exists that nobody could know before, being able to do things no one could do before. And we still have sharks. I mean, kids, generally speaking, love sharks. They want to save sharks. There are a lot of grown-ups who have come to fear sharks for some reason that nobody can explain, because sharks don't want to hurt us. It seems we're out there wanting to hurt them. But it's not just that, it's all of nature. We have consumed so much of the natural world during all of those who preceded you, us, right now. This is the best time we will ever have, where we still have half the coral reefs. Half of them have gone. We've lost them in my lifetime, but in your lifetime, there's a chance to recover and save what remains and recover some of what's been lost. And it's true with forests on the land, of healthy natural deserts. We've lost a lot of them. We need to keep them safe. We need to keep the forests of kelp in the ocean, seagrasses, mangroves. We need to protect the fish. We have a habit of killing ocean wildlife. We need to stop killing those creatures. They're like birds in the sky, fish in the ocean, need our help. They're much more important alive in the ocean, whether it's squid or octopus or lobster or shrimp or all those things you see in the marketplace. Consider them wildlife and protect them the way we protect birds and lions and tigers and things. We need to protect the wildlife in the ocean. And this is the best chance we'll ever have to do that. I'm so excited to be here with you, 21st century humans. We've got superpower, and we have to use it for you and for all of those who are out there yet to become kids.
All right. Sylvia, I'm going to sneak one more little thing in here because this is kind of a fun question. I can't resist. It's from some grade 2s. And they're wondering, Sylvia, if you could sneak away today on a dive with any marine creature, who would you want to spend the afternoon with, diving with?
One of you. Doesn't matter. Come on, kids, let's go. I mean, people ask me sometimes, what's your favorite sea creature? And I say, I think it has to be a little kid. Because we are sea creatures. We need the ocean. If the ocean didn't exist, we wouldn't exist. So, like every clam, every dolphin, every shark, every piece of coral, we need the ocean. So I would take one of you and let's go diving. Let's go exploring. Let's go see what is there to be seen and then come back and tell everyone why they should care.
All right. Well, I want to start off with a huge shout out to our classrooms. We had over 1,000 students registered. I know some of you will be tuning in later with time zones today, but thank you so much for being with us, for caring about the ocean, and such great questions today. And Sylvia, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to steal some of your time. And I know this is probably one of the busiest times of the year with Ocean Day coming up and all kinds of people to talk to and events. So thank you so much for being here and with students today.
Thank you. Go for it, Joe. You're a champion.
All right. I see we still have a few faces backstage, so I want to bring thank you so much for being with us today. And we're going to sign off for today. Thanks, everyone. Right.